Hey, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about my hair color and my updated kind of what products I use to get this color. So obviously as a professional, my technique and my products have changed, and a lot of you have noticed that and have, keep asking what it is that I'm doing different. So if you've been watching my videos like through the winter and kind of fall, I did a softer kind of balayage root, so I had kind of darker roots, and then I've slowly added the blonde back on because I missed it, and it was a great kind of like 5-6 months of, just kind of letting my hair kind of breathe, not adding any bleach to it whatsoever, so that was great. And now I'm back to adding bleach to it. But anyway, I knew that coming back and, using bleach on my hair again, I knew that I wanted to be a little more careful and really, keeping the integrity of my hair. I know that, it's not just about like what gets you the result, what gives you the most lift and all of that. It now has to be perfect on all levels. It has to both give me lift and, it has to give me good tone, and it has to leave my hair feeling amazing. So now that I'm kind of in a like formula that I love, I definitely figured it was time to share with you all what my new formula is. So as most of you know, I attended the Redken Academy, and that's where I have, my color background. Not only was I taught by the Redken theory and used Redken products to learn color and all of that, I've just always been in love kind of with the company. Like, I just like their style, and that's a big, huge thing. When I picked schools, it really just felt like home. It felt like, if I were to create a brand, if all of that, like, this is how I would make it. So you believe in it, and that's like a big thing when you obviously pick a school. This is in no way sponsored in any way, form whatsoever. If you know me and you follow me on any of my social media, you know how passionate I am about Redken. So anyway, let me just jump into it and explain to you the formula and kind of the steps I do to get my color currently. So right now my color is pretty fresh. So let's, fast forward about 4 to 5 weeks, and I've got a root. So I normally don't wait that long. So let's say about 3 weeks, and I have a little bit of a root. So obviously it's a dark root. So when it's that tiny small bit of space, obviously I can't go in there and weave a highlight. It's too little space. But I also hate having that kind of dark line. When it gets to be like kind of bigger and it kind of like looks cool and edgy, where like I want this root, that looks awesome, but when it just kind of barely there and it just looks like your hair is dirty. That's what I struggled with the most, trying to find a product that kind of, bumped up my base a bit but didn't leave me brassy like after a shampoo or two, and something that also didn't like give me a ton of lift. I just wanted it to soften it a bit. I kid you not, when say like 2-3 years ago, and I felt like just the color world needs specific products to make, going blonde easier. And that's literally what Blonde Idol is. And that's what I am currently using on my hair. And I wanted to try it, and I was like, I'll probably love one product, maybe I'll love 2 products, whatever. And I ended up loving just the whole system. It together is amazing. So in order to bump my base and to just kind of get rid of that tiny, tiny, ugly root, I use this Blonde Idol base breaker. And it really is just what it sounds like, is that it's just breaking the base. And what that means is kind of lifts it up just a bit. So it's not the color of, the blonde you have, and it's not like necessarily the color of your base. And it's not necessarily the color of like, say, a low light. It just like lightens it up enough to where it looks like your color's fresh and, it's perfectly toned and everything, so you don't have to tone after that or anything like that. So I do that. So then say about, another 2-3 weeks comes, and then now I have that same amount of root plus that little root that I've already done with the base breaker. Then we call in the big guns. Then I use the Blonde Idol Hightlift. So with a Hightlift, you always use double developer. So it's 2 parts developer, 1 part color. So I use the shade P, and that's for Pearl, and it's the most beautiful color. Like, I used to really be into like ashy and, like really gray kind of a cool tones. And I've just kind of grown more into, I like the soft kind of buttery blonde that just looks, very sun-kissed and very natural. So, and that's what this gives you. So I just apply that with 20 volume all over the root, and now I have the perfect canvas for going in and weaving a highlight. The fact that my hair is somewhat pretty dark, I'm about a level 6 naturally, and so with that, you know, going from level 6 to this, it's not just going to take one application of bleach, so that's why I go ahead and do the Hightlift first, and then so I shampoo, condition my hair, and then air dry it a bit, and then I go in and I weave a highlight. And so the bleach I've been using is, again, with the Blonde Idol blue oil along with a developer. So you mix the powder, the developer, just like normal bleach, but then you also add this blue oil, and this blue oil is what's so amazing. It leaves your blonde just so gorgeous, like that highlight just so more beautiful than if you ever have to tone your hair and it comes out like perfect. This just, you just shampoo this out and it looks perfect. No tone needed, and it's so beautiful. And the amazing part of it is that when you do a toner tends to fade over time, and if you put the blue oil into the bleach, so that's kind of the color that's inside the hair, that's not going to fade. So you are left with this beautiful buttery kind of really light blonde until the next time you have to highlight. So that is what I do. So in between, basically between appointments or between my highlights, I do the base breaker. Then a few 2-3 weeks later, I do the Hightlift, and then I do the highlight on top of that. I get so much crap from hairdressers saying like, why would you teach someone to do something like that and they're going to mess up their hair? And like I've said many times before, my channel's never been to replace hairdressers. I'm just a big believer in, if you are going to do your hair anyway at home, I'd rather you have a little bit of professional guidance, and so, you know, so that you at least know what you're doing, know what you're getting into. So I've done videos before on where I place, you know, highlights, where I place lowlights, so I figured, you know what, it's the same drill, like we're doing the same thing. What's different in this case is the products that I'm using, and so that's what this video is giving you a formula. Also, if you say you are going to your own stylist and you kind of want to tell them like, this is what I want, this is what this person's using, so that's kind of what this is for. If you feel that you absolutely can manage and you can do it yourself, go for it. So I'm always so proud at clients that come and see me in the salon, you know, that have been, you know, longtime subscribers and viewers, and say they've like done toners or they've done things on their own and their hair looks amazing. It makes me so proud that, you know, from watching a video of mine, you know, they've gotten that much closer to their dream hair. So I really do love that YouTube gives me this opportunity and this outlet to really like give my information, and just, you know, if you're not able to see me, if you're not able to see a stylist, you might as well walk around with as close to your dream hair as possible. So that's what I'm here for. That's what my channel's always been about. So I hope that's answered most of your questions about my hair color and what I'm currently doing different. Another thing that I will be doing is for every picture that I post of, say, a client on my Instagram, I've been getting so many questions as in, like, what did you do exactly to her? Give me the formula. So we are thinking of doing a kind of like a video for, say, like for each picture that I post that gets a lot of questions and that gets kind of like a lot of feedback, I will be doing a video describing kind of like how to get the hair in this picture. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I know blondes is like a big thing, but I wanted to kind of introduce a little bit of everything, like with my formula for a beautiful like brunette balayage, like caramel balayage, like up to like a, you know, really sandy kind of a bright blonde. So just some of the ideas in the work and what we kind of have, you know, going on for the future of this channel. So let me know if you like that idea. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and leave any questions or suggestions down below. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.